Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. This week's video is going to be a cozy, chatty paint along video. I haven't done a video like this in a really long time and I just felt like doing it. I've been really enjoying working in my sketchbook recently. I've been doing a lot of portraits and figure work. I used to do a lot of figure work when I was studying, doing my A-levels, but since then I've got out of the loop with painting figures and portraits and things. So I really want to get better at portraits and hone my skills in this area. So I've been working on my sketchbook a lot recently on portraits and trying to figure out how I like to portray people in my style and things like that. So I thought today I would bring you guys along for a little session in my sketchbook. My patrons actually voted as well what subject matter they would like me to do in this video, so I gave them like a list of options in a poll and they voted for portraits. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to crack on and I will catch you guys at the end of the video. I'm really excited to chat to you guys about painting portraits. As I said, I have been getting really into painting people recently. It's been something that I have been struggling with confidence-wise for probably the past 4 or 5 years, basically since uni, because I studied printed textiles design, so I was mainly painting florals and foliage, animals and nature and things like that, so I didn't really do a great deal of portraits at uni. I did a bit but not loads, but since then I've barely done any, and I've just realised that it's been a subject matter that I have been avoiding and is definitely an area of my portfolio that I have neglected. I think as an illustrator and artist it's important to have a wide variety of subject matters in your work just to show what you can do and appeal to different types of clients. So yeah, I've been really wanting to get back into painting people for a while, and also just because I think people are really interesting as subject matter. So I have been doing a lot more work with portraits, as I say, so I thought I'd show you guys a few of the pieces I've been working on recently, just quickly on the screen now, just so you can get a bit of an idea of the kind of work I've been creating. I have been wanting to be quite experimental with colour and style and materials and things like that, but I've noticed myself definitely gravitating towards using mediums and materials that I'm familiar with, just because I think the subject matter is something that I am quite unfamiliar with, I suppose. So I've been going towards materials that I find comforting and easy to use, like acrylics. I've done a little bit of gouache and pencil and mixed media and things, but mainly I've been using acrylics, and I've found that has translated really well, like using that material with this subject matter. I think it's helped the pieces I've been creating sit well with the rest of my work and the rest of my portfolio, which is nice. It wasn't necessarily something that I was striving for, trying to force a certain style or anything like that. I've just been wanting to experiment, but it's an added bonus that I'm seeming to find a natural groove with things, with the way I'm creating the pieces. So that's been really nice. I also just wanted to share that I'm quite passionate about making sure that the people I represent in my work are diverse, that I represent people from different backgrounds, people of different genders and ages and ethnicities. So yeah, I really want to make sure that I do that in my portrait work moving forward, and I feel like so far I've been fairly okay at it, but I would like to be able to paint people of different ages and body shapes and things like that, and also different genders as well, as I say. So I just thought I would talk a little bit about why I am wanting to paint more portraits. I have kind of covered this a little bit already with kind of expressing that I want to widen my subject matter, the work that I create, and I've also mentioned briefly that I want to improve my skills, but I also really want to improve my confidence as well. This may have already come across, but I want to feel confident in painting people and for it to be something that feels natural to me. I find painting flowers and landscapes comes really naturally to me, and I don't really have to think much about it because I've practiced these subjects so much. But with painting people, it feels really daunting and scary. So I really would love to be confident in painting people and prolific at painting people. I think it's going to take me a lot of time. I'm definitely not there yet by any means, but in order to get to that place, I actually need to do the work and practice. So that's what I'm trying to do. Another reason that I want to paint more people and get better at painting people is because I want to get more editorial work through Jennifer Nelson Artists, the agents that I have. They have advised me that people is an area of my portfolio that is lacking, and I was already very much aware of this, but I think as I expressed interest in doing editorial work, they shared that a lot of editorial work involves painting and drawing people. So I am also doing this because I would love to get some editorial work and broaden the subject matter that I use in my work. I also wanted to talk about some of the inspiration behind the portraits that I have created so far, and some work that I've been consuming by other artists that has been really motivating me and getting me excited to paint people. I think this is a really important step if you are feeling a bit stuck and anxious about branching into a different area of art or a different material or subject matter. It's really inspiring and motivating to look at other artists and see what they've been doing and what they've done, and just to give yourself lots of different ideas, I think is really beneficial and, as I say, motivating. So starting with some traditional artists and more well-known names, I guess. John Singer Sargent is a pretty obvious choice of inspiration when it comes to portraits. His work is absolutely incredible. I'll show a few examples if you haven't heard of him, which I highly doubt if you're watching this channel and you like art, but if you haven't, here are a few examples of his work. The way he manages to capture people in such few marks and in such a loose way will forever be inspiring to me. He's actually my mum's favourite portrait artist, fun fact. So yeah, I really love his work. I have a few books about him and his work in my little art book library, so definitely one that's been inspiring me and motivating me. Another one is Edgar Degas. He did a lot of paintings of ballerinas, which I find beautiful and so inspiring. I love the movement in his pieces and, again, the looseness. And the way he captures the tutus and the material, the net material, is so beautiful. And I'm sure from looking at these pieces, you'll see the kind of link between some of the latest pieces I've been doing of the girls in the kind of ball gowns and ballerina dresses. So yeah, he's been really inspiring me. The pre-Raphaelites I also love, and yeah, also Henry Matisse and David Hockney, as always. They are two of my favourite artists of all time. And then to share some more current artists, starting off with my amazing friend Amelia Flower. She works primarily digitally and on the iPad to create her portraits and figure work, and I just love the way that she represents so many different types of people, and also her colour choices I think are absolutely gorgeous, and her poses and compositions also I think are really, really clever and just really well curated and beautifully done. I also love the work of Leah Goran. Her work is lovely and loose, and her colour combinations as well always inspire me. She also uses pattern in a really lovely way. I love the way that she combines colour and pattern on her figures. So yeah, she's been really inspiring me. Rosie McGuinness is an illustrator, but I think mainly she does fashion illustrations, and I just love the looseness and simplicity of her work, the way that she captures figures in so few brushstrokes and in a really kind of muted and limited colour palette. I also love her use of pattern as well. I just love the way that her figures feel so effortless and like she's just slapped the paint on and hasn't been afraid to do that. Sandy Hester is a favourite of mine, love her. She's a lovely friend of mine as well, an art friend. I've never met her in real life, but we chat fairly regularly on Instagram, and she's just such a supporter of my work as well, so I wanted to give her a shout out. Her work is fantastic. Her attitude towards painting as well is just so inspiring and motivating. Every time I watch one of her videos or see a post of hers on Instagram, I just have to get up and paint. Her work is just so effortless and fun and joyful, and I really want my work to evoke that same feeling and mood. I absolutely love Sandy's work and especially love her portraits. And last but not least, Hugo Grenville is an amazing artist. I just love his impressionistic style, colour choices as well. His paintings just seem to vibrate. It's amazing. They are incredible. Absolutely love his work. So I hope that you have found some new artists through this and are feeling inspired. I find these artists incredibly inspiring, as I say, and just love discovering new artists and especially new portrait painters. So if you guys have any recommendations for portrait painters that you find inspiring and that you think that I would like after hearing my little list of inspiring artists and artists that I've been enjoying, then please do drop them in the comments below. I always love to discover new creators. And I guess to kind of conclude this voiceover a little bit, I want to talk about where I want to take my portraits next. Firstly, I want to just continue experimenting. That's kind of, I guess, my priority is just keeping on pushing it and trying new things and not being afraid to try new things. And I also just want to actually push the materials that I'm using further. And I think this will come in time as I become more confident with painting people. I think I've needed to stick to the materials that I feel comfortable with to begin with as a kind of base for starting this journey, I guess, of painting people more. But as I become more confident, I'd love to keep pushing the materials I use and playing with that side of things as well. Another step that I want to take next is actually painting people on a larger scale. I really want to do some big pieces, some really expressive pieces, and maybe slightly in more of a fine art narrative kind of way. You'll see hopefully in future videos what I'm talking about. And yeah, I also just wanted to chat a little bit about how I feel about this painting and give you my honest thoughts as I close up the video. It's definitely not the strongest piece that I have created, and if I'm being honest, I don't love it. There's lots of things I see in this painting that I really don't like, and it doesn't quite feel finished to me. But that being said, it was great practice and I had so much fun whilst doing it, which I think is the main thing. And I'm just really excited, the more I paint people, to continue pushing it further and keep trying new things. So that's all I really wanted to get out of this piece anyway. But yeah, I hope that you found this voiceover interesting and watching me paint calming and soothing and relaxing as well. So you've made it to the end of the video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this one and found it inspiring and relaxing and calming to watch. I just want to take time to thank my patrons for supporting me and my art. It really, really means the world. Like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and drop me a comment below to let me know if you made it to the end of the video and what you liked about the painting. And also maybe share what you've been creating recently if you're into art or creative things. Thanks so much again for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video.